Really quickly, just before explanation, you think Kyle Rittenhouse guilty or not guilty? What do you think they're going to rule?
95% chance not guilty.
Just, okay.
98% chance.
I said just give me a guilty or not
But he did anyways.
I know.
Your Honor.
All right, the computer
Not
wore
guilty.
glasses. Okay, not guilty.
Not guilty.
Porter Black Garrett, not guilty.
I can't give the definite, like...
If you just have to bet. You have to bet. 50-50 shot.
For all of them?
Yeah, 50-50 shot, gun to your head.
Man, I gotta say not guilty.
Okay. I'll tell you, and then we can all explain.
But I am very iffy on it, to be honest with you,
yeah.
because of how it feels like they're digging for stuff.
It does feel like they're digging
This
for
trial
stuff.
with prejudice.
Yes, what you think?
98%
I'm gonna change
chance
it.
of that.
98%
to
chance.
that.
Where are you getting these percentages?
What do you do?
I'm just trying to say.
Wait, was it,
What number is
is it draftgeraldkings.com?
I would like to bet you significantly more than $1.
What's the over-under on you being an asshole?
I don't know. Pretty good.
If I was a betting man, I'd bet.
Bet
All right,
on-
betting man.
myself, yeah, you know.
He's a mutter. So
It's a
I think that it's going to be not guilty. Let me explain to you why. Also, think about it. If something happens with the Ahmaud Arbery case where they find that they're, they get a lesser sentence than people are wanting, and
Right.
Kyle Rittenhouse is not guilty, it's going to pop off in this country.
You mean like 40 months?
Yeah.
Something like that.
I have no idea.
Just under
So
on.
I think not guilty. And let me explain to you why. Because no one likes Black Lives Matter anymore. It's very different from before the Chauvin trial. People were afraid. When we did the, Black Lives Matter is a domestic terrorist organization in Antifa. We did that in Austin. People were shocked.
Yeah.
Now most people, to varying degrees, agree with that sentiment, that it's gotten out of control and it's violent. As a matter of fact, before I go to the
Because
clips,
it was a sentiment they agreed with until it became an extremist group.
Yeah, well, I think it was founded as an extremist group and people followed it not knowing.
Until
Well,
they
of course.
figured that
The
out.
destruction. When you start off, when your jumping off point is the destruction of the nuclear family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like
your
if
starter.
that's your springboard, you're going to Greg Louganis it.
Yeah, their manifesto's a tough read.
And your
Yeah.
leaders are all trained Marxist, and they say that.
Yeah. So the polls now show that fewer Americans support Black Lives Matter than even in 2020. It was 61% in June 2020, 48% now. And of course, we know with those polls, people tend to be afraid. They answer they either answer in the way they think they will get in the least amount of trouble, or if people are conservative, they usually just don't answer the phone. They go, what? Click.
Yeah.
More Black Americans oppose Black Lives Matter than in 2020. 7% now oppose them actively versus 4%. Keep in mind, that's a stat where people go, okay, they're not really opposing it, but it's because it's tough to have a Black American oppose something that has Black Lives Matter in the name. The name they agree with. I bet you if you asked a lot of Black Americans about the manifesto point by point, and when I did so, they don't agree with that actual manifesto, because keep in mind, 81% of Black Americans support the same at least as much as we have now, or increased police presence. So in other words, Black Americans are vehemently opposed to defund the police, but then they say they support Black Lives Matter, so there's a disconnect there. But overall, the sentiment has changed in this country where people are fed up with it, and I think that is significant.
Yeah, it is significant, and we also saw this in the Virginia race where he was getting a much larger share of the black vote than people estimated that he would, right? So their perception of Black Lives Matter may be skewed because of the name, but all of the policies that back up conservative principles are gaining traction.
Yes, they are. Well,
Black
especially with the working
community
class.
significantly. Yeah,
across the board. And not just white working class, all working class. There are gains right now. And you know what? Let me just say one thing, too. People give Trump crap. And I think I would like to see some more patriots out there who understand how many wins Donald Trump racked up. They were saying Donald Trump would have won the general election. I don't even want to get into the whole idea of the safest election, whatever. Because he focused on the culture wars. Like if he just focused on the economy. Actually, no. Donald Trump did take those bullets so that you could have Virginia. If Donald Trump didn't wage war against critical race theory, if he didn't shine a light on the biased media, you wouldn't have other candidates who are able to draft in behind him. Let's be honest about it.
Yeah.
In Virginia, they wouldn't have won those races if they just talked about economics. It was parents who were pissed, who were finally made aware of what was being taught in their kids' schools. They were finally being made aware that they were being used as pawns, and it was a landslide message that was being sent. So when people say, Donald Trump lost because he didn't focus on the... No. We are now allowed to discuss the things that were only whispered on, right-wing echo chamber sites out in public now. So I think, if nothing else, give him thanks for that. Before Donald Trump... CNN was taken as a legitimate news agency. Before Donald Trump, I was there when Andrew Breitbart, just to be clear, Andrew Breitbart, this man, I think it was, what's his name, Bell, the professor at Harvard. Was it Derek Bell?
I don't know the guy.
He was a black liberation theologist, critical race theory. This was before Barack Obama was voted into office, and Andrew Breitbart was talking about how dangerous it was.
Yeah.
and racist, and no one paid attention. Matter of fact, Alec Baldwin would dismiss Andrew Breitbart. He dismissed the Anthony Weiner story because Andrew Breitbart broke it. Alec Baldwin, same guy you're thinking of. Yeah.
Same guy.
Murderer, him. Yeah. So I just want to be clear, it was Donald Trump who allowed that to be put onto a main stage. Doesn't mean that I think he was the best speaker. Doesn't mean that I wish he wasn't more disciplined with his tweeting. But give him a little bit of gratitude would not be out of line here.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.